going on, guys? Welcome back to What Cheers. I'm Nick, as always. Tonight we're going to take a look at the 15th installment in the Curiosity series from Treehouse Brewing Company. I've been reviewing a lot of these recently because, to be honest, they're some of the best beers they've been putting out, and each one in the Curiosity series is distinct and different and will probably never be brewed again. So they're all very special, and yeah, why wouldn't I want to try them all and review them for you? So this one is another never been done before combination of hops from them. It primarily focuses on the Columbus hop, which is, as he says on the can, it's the king of dank, which is very herbal, very grassy, pungent, which we'll get into. So it's Columbus primarily, and then it features additions of Amarillo and Mosaic as well. And yeah, so I want to give a huge thanks out to Matt G for hooking me up with this can. I try to get all the cans that come out in this series now that they started canning them because, yeah, the can has a writing on it and it's different every time. So, and a different picture or whatever graphic. So this one is pretty damn funny. I like it a lot. On the can it says, "This is fun, isn't it? Another week and another beer to be enjoyed in the name of progress. A yeast mostly new to Treehouse, coaxed into leaving us with very little residual malt character, allowing the hops to really shine. Columbus, the king of dank, used liberally to satisfy your lupulin cravings. But enough about that. Throw this can in a small cooler, find a place of your serenity and enjoy it. Sun on your cheeks, bugs taking the day off, maybe together we can slow the progress of time. Or maybe we can just enjoy a good can of beer. Whatever you decide to do, you should feel great knowing you have a bunch of colorful balls on your can. Salute." Well, there you have it, folks. Just a really weird and awesome can, and a pretty entertaining bit of writing there from Nate. So again, guys, as always with the Curiosity series, it is a hoppy beer. This is an American IPA coming in at 7.1% alcohol by volume. So I've already gone over the hops. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this beer, guys. I am ready, and I'm sure you are too. This beer is about a week and a half old. It's super fresh still, and it's been in the fridge. Yeah, this has been out of the fridge now just for about 20 minutes, so it should be warming up a little bit. And yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, got the Curiosity 15 poured out, and yeah, really nice solid two finger head there. Just a slightly off-white head, looks really fluffy, really, creamy, just really nice stuff. Kind of small, medium-sized tight bubbles together, but looks pretty classic. Let's get a look at the color on this bad boy. Oh wow, crystal clear appearance on this one, which is usually the opposite for Treehouse. Yeah, crystal clear. Really light, sort of golden honey color to this one. Kind of glowing in the glass though, but yeah, crystal clear. You can see the carbonation right coming up there, and away from the light is sort of a medium amber or honey color to it. Yeah, golden color, nice. Let's go ahead and get a aroma, guys. It doesn't smell that dank. I mean, it doesn't smell like, it doesn't smell that grassy, like earthy dank. What I was expecting was just more pungent. It smells really juicy. I smell peaches, I smell mango, I smell a little bit of pineapple, the apricot. There's a little sort of pungent, like piney, kind of resinous thing going on. Okay, yeah, I can see it a little bit, but really still smells pretty classic Treehouse, sort of that juicy, between a citrus and a tropical type thing going on. It's also a little bit cold, so let's go ahead and get a sip, guys, and see what we can get out of this beer. Oh, wow. Definitely more aggressive with the Columbus on the palate. It didn't really showcase itself too much in the aroma, or at least come to the forefront. in the flavor, the first sip, but the first thing I get is that sort of green, almost garlicky, oniony type of dankness that you get in Columbus. However, that may not sound very, flavorful, but the background of it is that super juicy, bright citrus, bright tropical notes. So even though it might not sound too appealing, it's very, very good. It's very interesting, but I'm going to have to take a few more sips. Let's get into it. Yeah, that's really, really good though. Wow. It still is a treehouse beer. And what I mean by that is you can still pull out distinct sort of characteristics of this that I could still probably tell you this was a treehouse beer blindfolded. There's just something about it. But yeah, I mean, the feedback on this beer in general was sort of so-so, only because everyone expects such great things every time Treehouse does a beer. And I was very curious because of the fact that it was getting mixed reviews or whatever, but it's still really, really good, guys. I mean, it's got really nice sort of bright, citrus notes, and then it's got that dank, kind of herbal, maybe oniony, garlicky kind of thing going on, but not from like, an old hops. It's just that's what Columbus gives off. And usually when you get those oniony and garlicky kind of notes, it's because it's like malty and it's just not a pleasant experience. This one is still super fresh. It's super light on the palate. It's also extremely dry. No bitterness whatsoever. It's a very clean, bright beer, but with those sort of dank, pungent, resinous, kind of characteristics. It's a very interesting kind of confusing beer, actually. Alright guys, so I'm going to sip on the Curiosity 15 for another few minutes and I'll get back to you guys with my final thoughts, but this one is a little perplexing. I'm just also surprised that it's crystal clear and everything too, but yeah, really nice beer. I'm going to get back to you guys in a few minutes with my final thoughts. Alright guys, so I've been sipping on the Curiosity 15 here for a few minutes. It's already like perfect temperature. It's finally warm out again, so the beer warms up quicker inside, which is nice. This is a very interesting treehouse beer. It's definitely one of my least favorite in the Curiosity series. However, that's, comparing it to amazing beers. So for what it is, it's still better than 99.9% of IPAs that you can get anywhere. So, keep that in mind. But this is an interesting combination of hops. The beer, it's really good. For treehouse standards, it's not that great, but it's still really good beer. The Columbus was a fun sort of thing to play around with. I definitely don't really think that the Columbus meshes well with the Amarillo or Mosaic that much. I mean, I sort of see what he's going for. It just doesn't really work in my opinion. But it does have this sort of bright pop of fresh tropical fruits, some citrus fruits, like really just fresh squeezed citrus up front, sort of juiciness, and then it goes pretty fast downhill into the dank, kind of grassy and herbal type of thing, which it can work. In this beer, it sort of clashes a little bit, but it's still really, really good beer. This sort of reminds me of if you get a really dank batch of an IPA from Trillium. Typically nowadays they're very, very they're more juicy, they're more citrusy and tropical forward, but sometimes they made like really, really dank, like super dank batches that were just too much over the top. This sort of reminds me of something like that. Just it's got sweetness, but it's a little bit too dank for what I prefer. But that's just me. A super easy drinking beer for 7.1%. I mean, it drinks like a 5% beer, if not like 4.5%. I mean, it just drinks like a session beer almost. It's a nice dry finish. There's like barely any bitterness. It's just dry. It's got a pretty decent mouthfeel to it, as all Treehouse hoppy beers do. So on BeerAdvocate, guys, this has a 93 overall. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna have to go there. It's pretty low for me to give a Treehouse beer 93, but I actually have to agree with the users on this one. Typically, I rate it much higher, and then it does rise with the ratings. But yeah, I think a 93 is pretty fair for this. I mean, maybe a 94. Yeah, it's still up there, but it's just as as far as comparing to other Treehouse beers, it's not as good, but it's still a good beer. But that's why I love the Curiosity series, because it is a one-time only thing, and you never know how good it can be. And the last few have been absolutely mind-blowingly good. So hey, they got one that's not quite up to those standards. That's fine. Move on to the next one. I'm still really glad I get to try it. And yeah, guys, I'm going to give this one a 94. Go 1 point higher than Beer Advocate. Thanks a lot to Matt G for hooking me up with the can of this. I like to have the cans. And I'm going to keep reviewing these Curiosity beers just because I want to support Treehouse. And they're, to me, some of the most exciting stuff that they do. And thanks for watching, guys. Remember to comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think if you've had Curiosity 15. And I'm interested. I think the general consensus is sort of the same as mine. But I would like to know your opinion on this one comparatively to some of the others. So until next time, guys, cheers. Thanks for watching.